So there I was, sat in pub, rubber-dub-dub with me great big tub. Saw this bird, I went and had a word, wanted to pull her like now top said. I says, alright love, how's Vadu? I'm up for a bit. I says, how about you? And she turned round and walked away, and I mooned her and we all went, whoa.
What is happening? That never fails to make me laugh every time. I'm one of these simple people that will laugh at the same thing.
Simple man.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a simple man. I can't say any other. But welcome one and all to Yorkshire's finest with me, Jimmy from Blades Ramble, Cal Fowler from the Cal Fowler Show. It's not. Some might say that's a little bit.
It's not got the ring.
Some might say it's a little bit big-headed to name a channel after yourself.
I knew you were going to say that. Well, it's just my name, Jim. So how's that? I'm not as big as a brand man as you.
Well, I've got to be a brand because, I won't sell out, would I, to be fair. So, Cal, how's Vadu? How are you doing, pal? Are you okay?
I've recovered, and we'll get there. We will get there. But
we'll get to it.
It's been a long shit weekend. Saturday, I had monk on. I proper had monk on. I couldn't come out until like Sunday morning. Yeah, so I went to my girlfriend's afterwards. And normally, well, all season, it's just been me going there and laughing at them because they're Sheffield United fans, in case you didn't know, guys and girls and everything else. But, oh, God, no. I could not be asked. I got there and I had monk on immediately. I couldn't deal with it.
Oh, Cal, I am so excited for everything that's going on at the minute. Look, we've got, just to pull curtain back a little bit, we've got a group chat going on with Connor from One Leeds channel, and these two have just spent last half an hour going at each other, haven't you? And I've just...
You keep saying I've got beans spilt down my clothing. I'm not going to say the full. We'll tell the full story at some point, but not on here. What he's on about? That I'm spilling beans down my shorts.
It probably made out like you were minging and stuff like that, and then you've come on and first thing you said to me is right. To be fair,
yeah, no, you know what it is, guys. Connor, the Leeds fan, is gives it big un. He don't go to games and he's from Manchester. He's got no to do with Leeds, and he's there going yap.
He's not well though. You can't say that when he's not well. So,
he's a soft ass. Right, come on. Let's skip over Harrogate and get straight to League One.
So this is Yorkshire's finest, where we discuss all the. Well, it's not. That's not true. It's a lie. We don't discuss all Yorkshire teams' games. We've started even cutting out Harrogate. To be honest, I've included them this time just in case, just to give people a little bit of time to readjust. But we talk about all the EFL Yorkshire teams and how they've done over the past weekend. We'll look forward to the results that are coming as well, the fixtures that are coming up as well. And we'll just have a little chat about how we think they're doing. We also give out a weekly Didzy award. This can be for player, team, or both. I think
this is getting renamed soon.
Why? No, don't you?
We'll get onto it soon. This shit is getting something is getting renamed. I'm telling you.
You are.
I'm not happy.
Listen, there's blaspheme, and I'm not having this. Are you disrespecting the GOAT?
We'll find out. In about 15 minutes, we'll get there.
Right, listen, I know he missed a couple of chances, but there's a lot more to his game than just... Anyway, right, okay. So this is... People have got the opportunity, if you wish to do so, to call in, but we do go on for ages. So as and when we cover your club, there's a StreamYard link that's pinned in the comments. If you want to have a join us for... We'll take one caller from each club if you want to do that, but there's no pressure. It's just an option there for people to do. So we'll jump into Harrogate straight away. 1-0 at Gillingham. Gareth Ainsworth's Gillingham. So I could not be happier for this result to come on screen. Any thoughts on this one, Cal?
Okay, who is it? Whose career did he finish at your place?
Dane Whitehouse.
I'm going to say I knew there was some ag there with Ainsworth.
Ag is an absolute scumbag, mate. Absolute scumbag.
I'm going to say he knew what he was doing, didn't he? And then I've seen him do interviews afterwards, and he talks it down. But I've never actually seen the tackle.
He for those that don't know, Dane Whitehouse was playing for Sheffield United. I think Ainsworth were playing for Port Vale at the time. Yeah, and he's coming, and he has absolutely shattered his leg. And it's not the fact that it were a terrible challenge and it ruined his career so much. It was more Whitehouse were upset with the fact that he never came and apologised. He never. And he finished. Dane Whitehouse were a brilliant player. He were going to go on and have a great. He were already having a good career, really positive. Came through Sheffield United Academy, so we took him. He were a little bit like Billy Sharp before Billy Sharp were on scene.
Yeah.
Like
when they come through, they mean a bit more, don't they? To especially have him done at your plate, yeah.
There were a tale about his dad getting on bus trying to get hold of Ainsworth at that game. Like it all kicked off, and he's. Yeah, he's known to be a bit of a weasel around our parts, so he's never welcome. Never welcome around.
Go on, Harrogate.
And if the greasy spoon wants to come anywhere near, we'll see how he goes. But it's Harrogate have gone to Gareth Ainsworth, greasy Gareth's Gillingham, and beaten them 1-0. And couldn't think of it. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
It's a good and all, aren't they?
Gillingham are okay at this level, aren't they, as well? So
I think they're near top. I swear they were unbeaten or something until this. Maybe this might be the first loss in league.
Well, there you go. You are the League Two guru. So
I'll to be honest, I couldn't care. Let's get on League One. Well done, Harrogate.
Well done, Harrogate. Just for record, Harrogate's game that we'll be covering next week.
That's an hard game and all.
It's Crewe at home. Yeah, but I think that's 2 on spin for Harrogate, isn't it? Didn't they win last week as well? They may have won last week as well. But again,
League Two.
Yeah, it's League Two, isn't it? It's League Two. So into League One. Normally we go for Rotherham first, but they've got their fixture next time dictates that they're going to go a little bit later. So first up, we're going to cover is Donny.
Okay.
Donny went to Luton. You called this, to be fair. I thought they might have got something at Luton because Luton haven't been doing the best. I'm not a huge Bloomfield fan, but they've just narrowly been beaten at Luton. And does it look like Donny are starting to slip a little bit to you, Cal?
Yeah, well, they've lost 3 in a row. They're down to they're down to 9th, which is still a really good start. So they've lost 3 in a row and they're still in and around there. Naki Wells missed a pen and all, so it should and probably could have been 2-0. But I don't think it were as easy as I thought it were going to be. The stats and highlights and everything showed that Donny were in that game. And you're not a big fan of Bloomfield, I am. But Luton fans have been saying to me since season started that they're just not playing well. Regardless of the fact that the point style is okay, Luton, do you expect more from them? The 10th after only 9 games. They've got a game in on some other sides. But 15 points after 9 games, do you expect a lot more than that for someone as good as this? But they're not performing, Luton. But yeah, Donny, I think they will find the rightful place probably in and around mid-table. I don't think they've got enough to carry on.
Mid to lower, maybe.
Yeah, I think they'll be bottom half.
Yeah.
Probably. Because some of the sides below them that are really picking up now, like Bolton's point tell is not as good as the performances suggest. Plymouth are doing well. Like there's Leyton Orient in 17th. There's a lot of expected high sides that are down there a minute.
What do you think to McCann then? What do you think to him as a boss in terms of, do you think he's at his level at League One, or do you think he's got more to give? And if they keep faith with him, which I'm sure they will, because obviously he's done a good job to get him up, and then he'll stabilise him hopefully in this league as well. But do you think he could build over the next couple of years and maybe get him challenging at top end at league?
Oh, it's a question, isn't it? Well, they've done well.
He's often been talked about, hasn't he? He's often been talked about as McCann because Peterborough appointed him, and he did okay initially, and then they bombed him out for Ferguson again. He's gone. He's done a decent job wherever he's gone, really. And he comes.
I can't remember him at all, though. I know he's been there, but I can't remember what performances or what they were like.
Okay. I mean, I could probably have a look at his record. But
he probably just is a lower league manager in it, and a good one at that. I don't know whether they could build long term, because it depends what happens with players like Molineux, and your recruitment's got to be really good. Because top end of League One, you start getting like Cardiffs and Bolton. Do you know what I mean? There's a clear cut then, where Donny are a bigger League Two side from when they've been there the last couple of years. Same as like Bradford. It's a difficult thing to transition into when you've not got the amount of money that some others are willing to spend. Really,
yeah, it is. I think Bradford have more longer term potential, to be honest, with infrastructure.
Exactly. It's just stature of club in it.
But you're right. And I'm sticking with, I'm not convinced by Bloomfield at all. I know he did a decent job at Wickham. I think he landed on his feet getting Luton job, and I think we'll see. Obviously, this might make him turn a corner, but I'm not convinced. So next up for Donny then is Burton at home.
Yeah, they've got to win that. Burton
they've got to turn this around with Burton, haven't they?
They've played least games because they had one called off against Rotherham, but 5 points in 8 games. They've only scored 5, and 2 of them were against Barnsley, which they still lost that game. So they're just offering note, Burton. And like one of the comments says there, Josh says that Billy Sharp is the best striker, and he's 40. Do you know what I mean? Or he's nearly 40, and that cannot be your best attacking goal threat, really. Come on, I know what you're going to say, and you're going to. I can see cogs going around in your head. No, but there's no way you cannot rely on a 39-year-old to start consistently every week, and that smoothly transition into Bazinets.
I'm not. We'll get to it. I'm not saying that they have to rely on Billy Sharp, but there's no shame in him being best striker at your club, because it's just how
39.
But if he's doing business, like we could quite easily be saying in a couple of weeks that Danny Ings is best striker at Sheffield United, and he's what, 33. I understand there's a big discrepancy in ages. David McGoldrick, I would argue, is your best striker. I know you're going to argue different by the sound of it. Well, you can do, but
he's one of 2 strikers and he's second best.
I'm not saying it's a sound long-term strategy. It's clearly not to be relying on Billy Sharp, but I could argue absolutely he's the best natural striker for
I agree with what you said there, though, about like managing him properly. And that'd be fair. And we could clump Donny and Barnsley here together. If you do manage someone that knows where net is and the positioning and the mental side of things is that good. But Donny don't have the firepower apart from that, and neither do we, really.
Okay. Right, we're not onto Barnsley yet.
But I think Donny will win that comfortably. By the way,
yeah, they've got to, haven't they? Because I mean, we're a Burton in the table now. They're bottom at league.
Last.
They've won 1 game. And like you said, they've played less games than everybody else, but yeah, they've only got 5 points, 2 draws, one win, 5.
Scored 3 goals in 7 games, effectively.
Not wrong with that. Right. Rotherham, the Millers.
They're going down.
They are going down, aren't they? Lost late on again. This time to Mansfield. Didn't they go 1-0 up as well?
Yeah, penalty in 9th minute. I think Hugo scored. And then knowing Hampshire, I've not obviously seen it, neither as will have, but from highlights and everything, they probably sat back because that is just what Hampshire is doing with him. They're getting relegated. I can't believe I didn't put brass on this, I'm gutted.
The thing is, neither of us, well, I don't mean to speak for you, pal, but I've no against Rotherham. Don't mind them at all as a club. Harmless, if you like. I think we all hate Wednesday collectively, but I've nothing against Rotherham per se, Millers, but they're banging trouble here with Matt Hampshire, and
crap.
I think they will need to make a change at some stage, pretty soon, probably. So,
go on, sorry.
Oh, is it though? Oh, would you bring in
point. Yeah,
this because it's all right. I'm sure Rotherham and Millers fans are calling for a change, or they won't be far away if they're not. But you've got to have somebody that you can go to instead of. And I don't know who's out there at the minute that Rotherham could attract that is going to be better than what they've got. Could
you imagine Steve Evans again? Well, there's no Paul Warren, is there? And I don't think he'd even take it if they come now anyway.
No, he won't.
There's the budget's non-existent effectively. They spent a little tiny bit, but instead they come down from Championship not long ago. They just don't spend enough. I'm sure he's not a manager. He's not. The mentality side of things is miles off. Regardless of how they actually play, they are god-awful, man.
What about Ruben Sayers?
Come on. Grow up. Imagine someone like that trying to play that type of football with Rotherham. Come off it. Called Toy Town for a reason, man. You couldn't be playing decent football with them.
Rotherham, absolutely awful at the minute. And I don't know how many losses that is on spin. The 21st, that's...
It's 4 losses in 5.
4 in 5, isn't it?
And their only win, again, we said this last week, their only win in the last 5 games is a 1-0 at home to Exeter, who've lost 4 in a row now, and they were 1-0 up and sat back. They've just not got it. Nombe's still injured and all, so when he comes back, there's always can he just sort of drag them through it a little bit? If they get to January and sell him, they've signed it. They have signed the death sentence. If they get to January and sell him.
Thing is, if Rotherham go down to League 2, it's a long way back for them. I think they've not got the same sort of like it's a big achievement for Donny to get into League 1 because they haven't quite got the same infrastructure as like a Bradford, like we were talking about before, who could build on it. Whereas Rotherham, they're not really built on solid foundations, I don't think, to be honest. So, I mean, stadium's decent, but they've no money at the club, from what I understand. Yeah. So, well,
where the sales coming from? You look at that team long term.
That's the problem.
There's no kids coming. Their academy is not exactly well known for being good, is it? And all they're not bringing kids through.
Well, they're surrounded by.
Go on, sorry.
Sheffield teams nick all their academy prospects.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you are in a difficult position there. But nah, the only asset is Nombe, and he's injured. That's it. That's the only player worth out. And I think he's got a year and a half left, and they paid over £1 million for him anyway. So you're going to have a job on trying to get any profit out of that at all.
The difficult thing is, I mean, you see some players that have left Rotherham who were actually okay, and they've not replaced them at all. It's a little bit similar to what's happening at Sheff Wednesday, where a lot of decent players have walked out the door and they haven't replaced them with quality. And there's a reason for what's going on at Sheff Wednesday. That's the difference. They've got a full-blown excuse, and we'll come on to them as well. and they are at least giving it a little bit of a go. But Rotherham haven't replaced with the same level of player that have left the club. And
the recruitment's been crap management for well over a year. They took loads of money at someone like Clark Harris, thinking that a striker at that age is going to be answered to get you out. He won loads of brass at Rotherham. They've just mismanaged the limited money that they had. They've so poorly mismanaged it, and that's why they're fourth bottom and look like they're doomed. Really,
huge gamble that on Clark Harris, who has been prolific at the level previously, but knocking on a bit, didn't get him service particularly, and it's one of them, innit? It's just not worked for him. So, look, we'll go to the next fixture in a minute because we have to cover the next team, which is Bradford, who are now top of the league. 23 points from 10 games, 7 wins, 2 draws, and just 1 loss. They've beaten Blackpool, who aren't doing great, but coming off a decent win. How did Blackpool get on last time out before this?
Move on. You've got 3 points, mate.
Shut up, we'll come to that. So Blackpool, with Steve Bruce in charge, on a poor run, apart from the odd decent little result here and there. Didn't really expect him to go to Bradford and get anything, but it's another result churned out for Bradford. Just ticked it off. Done what's expected
with this one.
It's a good result in it for him.
Yeah, because you're saying that you had Bradford to win. I thought they'd get a point, Blackpool, out of that. I remember saying it, and I did it on my prediction vid because I feel like Bradford do or have done well when they're underdog, but when someone's going to come and just defend against you for a lot of game, that's a different type of challenge than what they've had to deal with so far.
That's true. Yeah,
I think teams will now start looking at Bradford and thinking, right, okay, they're onto something here. We're 10 games in now. They're top at league. They've only lost once. This isn't a plucky little League Two side that's come up. These are a good team. So I was surprised that they honestly broke them down. It looked like quite an even game, and they weren't dominating here as much as they did away at Cardiff, for example.
So do you think Alexander's gonna have to adapt now because they'll stop being the underdogs where teams will open up against them and fancy the chances because they've been not found out, but they've been so good at the start of the season. They'll now have to cope with people like trying to catch them on counter instead rather than try and come at them.
Yeah, I think they'll struggle. This is so stupid to say, but I think they'll struggle against someone like Port Vale, right? Which we can speak about in a bit. But I think they'll struggle against someone that is just going to come and sit 10
All big teams struggle against Port Vale, don't they?
No, honestly, all favourites, mate. Port Vale, oof.
It's a bogey side for all major teams in league. Just a bogey
tricky fellas, them boys. But yeah, it's you know what? I think if they get to January though, and they're in some sort of position, I think they'll go for it big time because they didn't exactly spend a lot of money.
No, they didn't.
They got some fellas in on good wages like Humphreys, but they've not spent a lot of brass.
I love Bradford. I think I've got a lot of time for him.
I'd like to see him do well.
I would too.
As long as we do well and all.
And you can only think. I mean, this is football 101, isn't it? That Rotherham go and beat them now, but
no,
they have got to go to Rotherham, to New York, and turn them over, surely, aren't they?
We've got him in a couple of weeks. I'm going. It's my first away. Bloody hell, such a part timer.
What a part timer!
I know.
What a part timer! It never goes.
Should just carry on doing watch alongs from my bedroom.
What a loser!
I know. Imagine. Oh no, I don't think.
What a loser!
I don't think Rotherham getting this year. The crap.
They're useless out there, and it's form more than else. And I know it's not really a derby either, is it? I know the two Yorkshire sides, but it's not. There's no on. It's not like Bradford Huddersfield, which Bradford have already dispatched Huddersfield this season. A much better side than Rotherham, and I know it's at Rotherham, but
look at Duggarts of these two and experience that they've got there. Man, I think Rotherham could get tucked at cleaners here.
What we're saying, big.
I think they could go and do them like 3-0. And to be fair, Rotherham, even though they're losing a lot, they've not really. I don't think they've even lost a game by more than 1 goal. They are all by 1, but they're not. I don't think Rotherham have even played anybody yet. Really, they've had odd one against like a Cardiff, but they've not played a lot of good sides, and they've got a few coming up and all. We could be looking at bottom at league in a few weeks. I would say going into international break, and that would be a good time to sack him. But they won't even have the game called off. It just never ends for Rotherham.
I know.
There's just no end. The pain does not stop.
He's already dead.
It just never ends.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it's not looking good for Rotherham. It is looking very good for Bradford. Fair play to them. Huddersfield Town went to Exeter, got the job done. Are they back on track now then, pal?
Yeah, maybe. The goal was a screamer, to be fair. It weren't exactly a well-worked training ground routine or all like that, but that has its own strengths, doesn't it? If you've got somebody that can just do something like that.
That's right.
Exeter, I think, are quite unlucky to have not got all out of that, but that's only from stats and highlights, and that's all you've got to judge off, really, in it, when you don't watch full game. But I feel like it's the same thing as always. I don't think they're exactly playing that well, but they're in 5th. So
Huddersfield, I was going to say they've done quite well to hold their position because they haven't been playing well. And you know, a lot of people will say that's the sign of a team that's going to go well when you're not playing well and you still get some points on board, because they are 5th. I think they're only, 4 points off top?
Yeah.
So, 4 points off at top, which is crazy to think, because we were all thinking it were a massive drop-off from Huddersfield, and they've kept in touch. However they've done it, they've kept in touch. And, Exeter in poor form. You've already talked about it when we were talking about Rotherham, but you've still got to go there and get job done, and they've done it away from home. Never easy. So, I
think there's a big psychological thing in this league and all. We go into Exeter and Plymouth. You know, because they're just so far away, and nobody's got money to be flying down to these teams. So you're going on bus like 7 hours, mate.
Yeah.
I feel like players just want to get it out of the way early, do us. So to go there and win, I do think is impressive, honestly.
What about next one for them? Stockport at home.
Stockport, same. They've not played well. For a side they've got a big budget, by the way.
They're a good side, Stockport. Two good sides here.
Players. I don't think they've been a good side this season.
No, but it could. They've both got quality, haven't they, in the side?
Yeah.
So it could be a decent game. Ollie Norwood pulling the strings for Stockport County at this level. Bit of a cheat code, I would say.
They've just got no consistency, either of these. Really.
No.
I think it's too easy to say a draw, but I think Huddersfield could probably do them.
Yeah.
I do think they're a better team.
That'd be a big blow for Stockport, that.
Yeah, it would. But again, same conversation. They're in 7th, and they've not played that well.
Yeah, but there's a bit of a gap. There will be a big gap developing. Huddersfield are 3 points. They're only 2 positions, but 3 points away from Stockport. They could start to open up a big gap here. So, this is where it starts to get stretched a little bit. Interesting. You think Huddersfield might edge it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Press button.
Mate! Port Vale, those giant killers, Port Vale.
You want to talk about it first?
You what?
You want to talk about it first?
Well, I don't know much about it, in all fairness. I don't know whether this had anything to do with it. Did this have a part to play, do you think?
Thanks for that. Need to remind me of that one.
I just wondered whether this had knocked stuffing out of you a little bit.
As if going and watching Pele live weren't enough. I've got to see it back on screen again.
Talk to me about this, because I saw your TikTok. For anybody that's not following Cal on TikTok, I think everybody is now, so don't worry about that. Who is this? Who is this boy for Brighton that's the best player you've ever seen?
Well, exactly. Well, it started against Chelsea and they won 3-1 at their place. So that 6-0 don't look
10
as
men
bad.
Chelsea.
Nah. What's that?
10 men Chelsea, weren't it, after about 5 minutes?
Oh, I don't count then. Oh, okay.
No, it does count. It does count. It does count.
No,
it's not like it been an absolute, one-sided affair, 11 against 11.
Regardless, Brighton have gone to Chelsea and won.
Yes,
so they're clearly a top side.
They are a top
Europe
side.
Every year, I think they'll be qualifying for Europe again this time. They are clearly an outstanding team. But Oxford 6-0 in previous round were our championship side, something that we aspire to be.
That's right.
And I would argue that we had a better go at it.
So you kept it to the same level as the championship.
Yep,
so you
and we post 3
championship
times.
level.
Yeah, we post 3 times, so that's 6-3 immediately.
Yeah, that's 6. It is, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so we've only lost by 3 goals, so we've had a good crack, really.
That's true, actually. I didn't think about it like that. And if you do class him as best player ever, then you can't count his goals. So it's a lot closer.
We've won 3-2.
Yeah. There you go.
What a win!
Who is this boy?
I think it's Arsenal away next round for us. Then.
Who is this boy?
Just some fella called Gomez. I've never even heard it. I think he's played 16 times for him, something like that. I think he cost 10 million quid. And I literally what best player I've ever seen live ever. And I'm including going and watching like Man City and Champions League and stuff like that before. He's the best player I've ever seen with my own 2 eyes. That is one of the best goals I've ever seen live. He was just a nutcase. But yeah, I don't think that has anything to do with this, really. We've had 1 shot on target in 3 games, including that Brighton one, and it was like a pea roller. It's not good.
What has happened in this, we'll come back to the league then. What has happened in this game here? And I know you blame the GOAT for a little bit of this, don't you?
No, I don't blame him. I blame the system and the shoehorning of the same player in. I don't want to do a disservice to Port Vale because they honestly they are good. Like they've won 3 in a row. Darren Moore's had our number though. His thing. We did Wednesday twice in league when they went up. But I remember an ex-player now at the time told me that the team talk. He just figures us out. Darren Moore as midfielders don't track his runs, and it's still the same thing now. Having been at Wednesday, beating us at Wembley, going up, he's gone down to League Two, got promoted, played us, and the same problems are still there from that perspective. So he's not had to change anything. They've rocked up with like a 10 at back. We can't break them down. We've not had one shot on target for a reason. And I'm starting to get a bit scared that Urian's like a Russell Martin, you know.
No,
I'm slightly starting to think.
What, after 2 or 3 games, you were all aboard the Hurahan train,
but now... it's like it's come out and said that we don't want to change like the system sort of thing and to stick with it. But if we're on edge of box, we have got some of the best players in this league, regardless of the fact that you might laugh.
It's worked for you up until this point.
Yeah, but then we've had 3 games in a row with 1 shot on target.
So you think
if we've got the ball, if we've got ball edge of box with someone like Phillips, you've just got to hit it. I can't believe that we get to them positions with Dunn or McGoldrick and then play it wide when they've got 7 men in box at time and you're playing it wide to try. I don't know what chance we're trying to create rather than just sitting on edge of box with a situation like that.
So what do you need then? What do you need to change?
I think we just need to shoot on sight a little bit more against low block sides. I think we had 70% possession against these. They didn't pose a threat at all until they finally get ball from us making a mistake, break down over end and score. I think they bullied us. Cole and I think he's called Brown, the other striker. They were really good. To be fair, Cole got a lot of flack, but
Devante, you thought he might get a bit of stick, didn't you? Yeah,
he got a lot of flack. And to be fair, he had a good game. He should have scored 1, but it was a good save. And our keeper got man at match. That just shows you everything. Yeah. But yeah, the McGoldrick thing, we are trying to shoehorn too many of the same players into this system, right? We've got no one on the current 11, the starting 11 that we've got. If someone comes and just defends against us, we've got no one who can unlock that because we've got like Vickers, who's his winger. He's all about ball retention. He's not somebody who runs in behind a fullback. He likes it to feet. Phillips is same. Dunn's same. McGoldrick's same. You've got 4 of the exact same player and nobody that is willing to stretch a defence and try and take a man on. And we've got Cleary sat on bench. I know Jallo's injured, but Cleary sat on bench is exactly that. And he's in the same position as McGoldrick, but he won't drop McGoldrick.
Why would you drop McGoldrick? I'm not saying he's not a similar player to everything you've got, but surely you haven't got the same ability as David McGoldrick anywhere else.
He's occupying the same place, the same space as Dunn is the problem. And obviously,
is that a new development though? Over these last
because it weren't a thing. The first couple of games, that weren't a thing at all. You know what he's done? Actually, a couple of games ago, he come out and said, Urian, that he's changed it because McGoldrick was starting down middle and Dunn were out on left. And that's when we started really good. He changed it because we weren't getting most out of Dunn. Despite being top goal scorer in the league, we weren't getting most out of Dunn. So we swapped him round, put Dunn down middle and McGoldrick out on left. And it's just not same. If he's going to stick with both of these, he needs to swap it round again and put Dunn out on left.
It sounds a bit of a simple solution then, doesn't it, really, to be honest?
But I think the simple solution is, well, we should have got another striker in, really. It would have been the simplest solution. Yeah. But we can't rely on a 38-year-old to play 90 minutes every week because he looks...
No, I agree with that. I agree. Obviously, I'm playing devils a little bit because I haven't been watching him week in, week out. But I know what McGoldrick can do because we've seen it.
Yeah.
And as you go down the levels, he bossed it in League 2 last year. Came back up to League 1, and it's a big ask again to go up a level at his age, but he's more than good enough to play at the level.
No, I think it sounds harsh because I think he played well, is the thing. I do think I've come across harsh.
As well.
Is what, sorry?
Didn't he miss a couple of sitters as well?
No, not in this game. We've done note.
All right.
He missed a sitter against Blackpool, which he should have scored.
Okay.
But I think he played all right. It's just that someone's got to gear. I think we've got to get Cleary on page because he's someone that just wants to run at you and he's got ability to do it. And in the games that we've seen him, which is all cups, he's been best player by a mile. I just don't know what it's going to take for him to start.
So is it a front 3 then? Who's on right-hand side?
That's Vickers, the winger that we got from Brighton. He's seriously, he's very talented. So we need that same thing on the other side.
Yeah, and
quite lopsided.
it's not working with McGoldrick there currently, but we were doing okay. We're done out there.
Yeah, I think if we're going to stick with them, then we've probably got to put Dunn out wide and McGoldrick down middle. But I would rather just see Cleary start and then bring someone like McGoldrick on against tired legs when he can just like dance past them. That's what I'd rather see.
Makes more sense, doesn't it? Really.
But then how do you drop someone like McGoldrick? Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, you can't. But it's look, we talk about things, and Arteta was talking about it recently as well. Finishers. And some players are better as coming on. Like we might not start Danny Ings tomorrow night, but it won't surprise me at all to see him come off bench last 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
When like
you've got the luxury of depth though, where Wean is the problem in attacking positions.
Well, that's what you'd be doing though, isn't it? If Cleary comes in instead of McGoldrick, that's your depth there with McGoldrick coming on.
Yeah.
But it's whether you think Cleary's up to the job.
Oh, I do. Well, Jallo would typically start, but he's been injured since like April. I think he's got like a month left. But to be fair, when we get to January, if we're still in that picture, I do think we will spend because I know we put bids in, but they just weren't accepted at the time. So we've got some brass sat there, but we need to. I think we've got a limp to Jan. I think.
Well, this is the problem now because you've sort of said about Stockport dropping off, not playing that well. You're on the same points as Stockport. You've played a game less. You're 8th in league now after dropping significantly. Two losses on spin now. Does it worry you in terms of direction at club?
No. So I don't think I'm worried that he could be, but I don't think he will be too set in his ways to change. Why is there a big black screen on my face? Oh, sorry, what was that?
You and your dodgy gear.
My dodgy. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be too set in his ways. And we've got this stupid cup thing tomorrow away at Notts County, Papa John's. So I think that's an opportunity to maybe tweak some things if he wants to. Okay. So I still think we'll definitely be finished top 6, definitely. I just hope we're further up in January when we can spend some money. Okay. We will, 1,000,000%. I'll put some top dollar on that we're a top 6er.
Okay. How do you reckon you'll get on? How do you reckon you'll get on here then?
Oh, it's Duff and all.
Yeah, it is. Oh. That writes its send on it. They've not started well, have they? But obviously they've just made the change. So they're down in 20th, just above Rotherham, who we're talking about how poorly they've been going. But Duff. Yeah. Duff, ex-Barnsley manager Duff.
They've just gone to Wimbledon and lost. But Wimbledon is 6th. So they're not exactly a bad side.
And playing well Wimbledon, aren't they? So
yeah, they are. I think we win 2-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Score draw.
Why not?
Score draw. But, Wycombe pulling themselves out of trouble and Barnsley going back to basics of mid-table. Hull went to Watford and lost, which is good for us. No, I didn't see it coming because we've got Hull at the weekend. We've got Southampton tomorrow, but we've got Hull at the weekend. And I was worried about Hull's form. Now, McBurney, again, just absolutely ludicrous.
What a player.
Honestly, it's written in it. A bit like you're on about Duff playing at Barnsley. Well, McBurney, they've got McBurney, John Egan, John Lundstrom, Regan Slater, all ex-Blades. And I just
McBurney 1,000,000% scores against you. 100%.
I'm pleased that they've been rattled a little bit by Watford because it shows that they're not riding that same wave of momentum that they were. I don't know who they've got. Oh, in fact, it'll tell us here, won't it? They've got Preston at home. Another one who you'd normally look at and say, oh, I quite fancy that. But they've started so well, Preston.
Preston at 6th.
Yeah, Eki could do us a real favour here. So, what are you thinking about Hull entertaining Preston, pal?
That is tough.
It's not easy, is it?
That's a very tough one. I feel like you never know what Hull you're going to get.
Or Preston.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. But defensively, they're a little bit more switched on. Hull have conceded 14 goals in 7 games, but they're scoring
more than us.
They're so cold. And I think that about Watford all the time anyway. I can never make my mind up on them, and there's no point because they'll sack the manager by the time you figured them out anyway. But I don't.
So true.
I don't know. So true. I don't know. I could not. Right now, I couldn't call that, so I probably just said draw because I've no idea.
I think it might be a draw. And then that's good for us because they've lost and drawn going into the weekend.
A relegation scrap and dropping points. That's good for you, all that.
Shut up, you. 18th, they are Hull. So they're not doing as well as you think they might be because they've had a couple of decent results recently. Who did they beat? They beat Southampton away. That were the
no, them
result.
at home. They bet Southampton at home.
Did they?
They got a point away at Swansea.
So they've done okay recently, and McBurney's on fire. But
it's so tight though at the minute. There's Middlesbrough who are 4 points clear at top, but then everything's just so well. And then you're 2 points off Wednesday, but everything else is so clumped together at the minute. So if Hull win one game, they're going to 7th. So 7 games in, man.
Yeah, no, it's balmy, innit? It's balmy how it's sort of because, and I'll tell you why that is. Because in League One, you've played 9 and 10 games.
Yeah.
And in Champ, we've played 6 and 7.
Yeah.
So it's not. We're not even off to races yet. We're just giving people a little bit of a false start, and then we'll
keep
get
telling you send that one.
I will. So these won't go away yet. They will eventually. They will eventually. But Sheff Wednesday getting a point at home to QPR, who themselves have started season well. They're up in 9th.
Won 3 in a row before going to Hillsborough.
What's this about? Why are they doing bits now, Cal? Help me out.
He's Baz, isn't it, man? Like, and I never ever want to give him credit, but it's Baz. It is. We both know it. No,
I'm not having
it's Baz.
That.
Why?
No.
It's Baz. It is. It's Baz. He's doing
Baz.
Stuff for him.
It's not Baz.
It is. It's Baz. It's little Baz.
Do you think Scottish Pale or?
It's little Baz. I genuinely think if they get an injury to him, they get no points for the rest of the year. If he's not there, say if he went to Wrexham or something, they'd have been relegated already.
I cannot believe these are above us. They are so bad. We've been terrible. But these are above us, and it is.
They've got no quality in that 11 apart from Bannon. That's it. And I think the team that they're putting out, I've only seen a full 90 of them against Leicester. I think I might have seen another one, but I can't remember. But there's a lot of runners around. You know what I mean? They've got a lot of athletic lads and a lot of young kids and all that are doing a lot of running. So he can just stand in the middle and spray balls about, and he's doing it well.
It won't last, mate.
They're still getting relegated. Come on,
they're still getting relegated.
Still getting relegated.
Bottom at league.
Sheffield double. But little Baz, he's actually doing it. He's doing bits.
Well, how did they get on with this trip?
They lose.
They lose to Birmingham.
Yeah. Well, he's not going to get a foot on ball against these. How fit they are.
Yeah. They've no chance against Birmingham, have they?
No.
So we know that they lose tomorrow night. If it's tomorrow that they're playing, can Sheffield United do the business? Because we did the business this weekend.
Can they get a foot at table? Come on! I didn't think you'd win that.
I didn't think we'd win it. I thought we'd get some. I would have taken a point before game because I think I'm sick of saying this because it is true, but it's repetitive. There ain't any easy places to go in Championship. You could name any club and you could make an argument for why it's tricky to go there. Normally, you might say Hillsborough for some clubs, but not our club because, yes, they're a poor side and they're doing okay at the minute anyway, but they're a poor side. But for us, they'll get up for it. We have been the soft touch in the league this season so far. So to go to Oxford and to get some, and we deserve to get it as well, on second half performance particularly, then it's a massive boost that we needed. And I think while they're coming back now, obviously it didn't quite kick into gear against Charlton like we were hoping. I'm not naive enough to think that, right, that's it, we're off to the races now. We're going to pull away. We're going to be absolutely fine. I still think there'll be a couple of bumps in road because I think the players' confidence is on the floor.
Yeah.
But it's building blocks and it's little bits incrementally all the time. He's talked about he's not happy with fitness at players. So I think he switched the formation. I mean, you'll know all this, Cal, anyway, because obviously you've got your Sheffield United connections, haven't you? But switched the formation. He didn't massively go away from the 4-2-3-1. There were periods in the game where we stuck to that, but he was fluid in his selection. So we switched to a 3 during the game as well. Sometimes in possession, out of possession, we'd change formation. It were really clever what he did. He brought Ben Mee in, and that's been a big difference for us. Ben Mee and McGuinness, to be fair, alongside Ben Mee were really good. Tanganga's always good. So I think that might be the way we go. I think we might flip to a 3 at the back now, like we've seen with Sheffield United previously. But I think we'll be a bit more fluid in what we can do because with Tanganga, he can drop into a 3, but he can also shift over to the right-hand side. And Burrows, who will be a left wing back, can drop into the 4 as well. So mid-game, we can switch it up a little bit. If we need to pack the midfield a little bit more, Hamer can come a little bit deeper. Sidney Peck's not got as much individual responsibility. I think I'm hoping it's a turning point for United, but easier said than done, because next up, they're not in good form. But with
this is a
Southampton
good chance for you.
Southampton at home tomorrow.
Southampton are not. They're just not, are they? They've not offered a great deal so far.
But you'd say that about Sheffield United, wouldn't you? You would say that about us. This
yeah, but then you've got the home aspect, and I think the fact it's a midweeker and all just does Southampton no favours.
That's true. That's true.
I do think under lights it's just different, me. Such
Under
a cliche,
lights.
but I really don't. Under Leeds, but I just think it's different, me. I think you can get some of there definitely. I'd make your favourites.
Are you saying Sheffield United are going to beat Southampton?
I think so. I think you could do that.
I hope so.
Southampton show me note.
Southampton, but they've got a really good side. They've got a really good side. When you look at it, man for man, they have. Who have they got? They've got Shea Charles, Manning, Fellows, Archer, Flynn Downs. Who have they got at centre half as well?
Like Howard Bellis, I don't think, but he didn't even play against Thingy, I don't think. I'm sure he didn't play last game, unless he's injured or something.
But they've got Ronnie Edwards to come in with Jack Stevens if Howard Bellis. They've got the right back that they got from Brentford.
I think if they're trying to, I don't know, I still honestly don't know what their style is. So I might be miles off here. But if they're trying to keep ball and pass it back at your place, they're going to get slapped.
It'll turn for them at some stage, but I just hope it in tomorrow night. There's also a bit, I don't know if you heard this, pal, but there's been a rumour, and I think it were an Alan Nixon thing, so we take it with a pinch of salt all the time. But an unnamed championship club.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. As just for those that don't know, their captain has gone to the board or the powers that be and said, we're not having this manager at all. It's not working for us. And I think there's a bit of unrest behind the scenes. Now, two of the clubs named, possibly it's either Southampton or Blackburn. Now, it could be a third or a fourth club. Who knows?
Oh, I thought it was Watford.
All right, there you go. So there you go. It could even be Watford. I didn't know whether you'd heard anything about Southampton being part of that mix, potentially.
How would I know that?
I don't know, because you've got
any boys on go. No, I don't know. I don't know. I doubt it, though. Really, it's not been there. It's not been there long at all, has it? What cup games they even had? So I think it's difficult, and no, I don't think that'd be about it. Still, me, I do think that'd probably be Watford. I feel like it ticks there, so fits what they are and their culture a lot more than it probably would Southampton. But I don't think the squad is all that. For the amount of money that they've actually spent, I feel like they've, for lack of a better word, pardon my French, spaffed it up the wall. I really do not think there is a lot of quality within that for the money that they have spent. Thing is that I am not sold on him.
No, me neither. The
numbers were good. But when you actually watch this guy, I understand what Middlesbrough fans were saying. He's not it, is it? He's not the one. So much. Tom Fellows is good, in fairness. And I like Adam Armstrong anyway. I like Armstrong striker.
What about Archer?
He didn't start, did he? I don't think. Last week.
What do you think to Cam Archer, though? That's
all right. A championship striker.
Look, right. Okay. Well,
Armstrong.
So some people may forget this is actually a call-in show, so people can call in and do it. And we have got a caller to come on and talk about Sheffield United versus Southampton, and it's Paul the Man Mountain. How's it going, Paul? Oh no, it can't be heard. We can't hear him.
Boys, can't hear you, mate. Oh my Christ, honestly.
Oh my word. I'm supposed to be a professional. I'm supposed to be going
Jobs for boys.
I know.
Jobs for boys, it might not work.
4 3.
Oh. What about now?
Yay!
Sorry.
All right, mate.
It's the kids or the wife. They've been messing around with me, Mike. Sorry, guys.
Don't get him more bothered with wife on stream.
Just point the finger.
It's all somebody else's fault.
Don't get him bothered with wife again on stream, you. So anyway, we're live on the internet, Paolo. What do you want to say, pal?
Well, I wanted to make sure this was a call-in show, like you said. There's no one coming on. I even messaged him. I said, "Have you got anyone on this week?" He hadn't even responded to me, so he probably didn't want me on. But anyway, you can check it now if you want, Jim.
All right, yeah. So,
what do you reckon? Do you think they'll beat Southampton?
I think there's a much better chance now, Cal. Yeah, after the second half on Saturday, because we're a side obviously who's been suffering a crisis of confidence, and the second half was just a lot better than the first at half time. Everyone was looking at each other going, "Oh Christ, no, there's nothing coming here." But yeah, we hung on, showed a bit of character. I think the guys, I think Jimmy's been on about it. Ben Mee coming in makes a massive difference at the back. Just a bit of know-how, just a little bit of calm heads when we come under pressure, because you go 1-0 up away from home, you're going to come under pressure at some point. And me turned it on in the second half. I didn't think he was great the first half, to be honest. For all everybody going a bit bananas about how good he was, I don't think he was great. And then second half, I think he really came to the fore. So yeah, I think he's going to be a big difference for us, and he should be, shouldn't he? Look at his record and where he's been and where he's played and how long he's been doing it for.
I look at your 11 now, just as a half neutral, I guess, and it just looks so much better, though. I don't know if it is just because Wild isn't dugout, but when you look at it, it's like, how is a team that's got Cooper, Burrows, McGuinness, Mee, Tanganga, how is that last? That defense is so good, isn't it, personnel-wise?
Yeah, but I think both teams, though, I think you were just rattling off some names there from Southampton as well. It's fair to say, obviously, we've been dreadful. And I wouldn't say it's a false position, because we've been as bad as our position tells us. It has been that bad. But when you look at the teams on paper, if these two aren't in the final six, the heads are going to roll. And I know that Wilder's coming at it from a different perspective, because he's taken over from a side shot of confidence and get a lot more leeway. But these two sides should be in the top six when you look at the teams on paper. Like you were just saying, Carl. I just think it's we just got to get our fingers out and do something. Like you say, a midweek game. It's a long way for them to come. Yeah, you're hoping that plays its part in the game. I think they've got some good fees for players. I couldn't decide. Diblin to me looked like he was either a genius or offered absolutely nothing. I think they got loads of good money for Fernandez as well. I don't think he's quite the player at that level in terms of the money. Finn Azaz, I think, is a funny one, because you can't argue with numbers. I think that his numbers have been really, really good last couple of seasons.
Yeah, good point.
Whether he's a class above in terms of his potential Premier League player, or I still think he can be a difference maker. He can finish. I think he's a bit of a confidence player, but his numbers don't lie, do they, at this level?
I think it's an interesting one, because we would also say, like, watching Raksaki last season, a lot of players weren't impressed with him, but he had good numbers as well. So it's one of them that they don't lie, and they are effective, and they can directly impact. Obviously, they do directly impact the game, but there's more to it than just numbers, I think, sometimes. And Azaz, I'm not convinced by. I think he's a good player at the level, and I don't mean to sort of discredit. And he'll be one that gets winner now that I'm saying this all.
1-0 Azaz.
How it's going to go. 1-0 Azaz. But I think for the hype I think Tom Fellows has gone more under radar, and I think he's a better player. So,
yeah. Tom Fellows is at this level is a class signing for them. It's just again, I don't know if they're buying. I don't know if they're buying players that are. I think for the money that they've got in, they could have got one or two that you think are too good for the level. And I'm not sure. I think Fellows and Azaz are good players at this level. Do you think you could go and hang tough for them in the Premier League? I don't think so. So I think they're good signings, and they're more like the signings that you want to make if you want to get out of the division. Obviously, it's just like it's about that next step now, isn't it? And if for teams, if they're going to go up. So I don't know whether they will prove to be good signings or not, but they certainly need to get their fingers out, because, like you say, they've got a better side than where they are at the minute in the division. That's for sure.
What we're saying, score predictions
for tomorrow. Oh gosh, I'm going to go 2-1 again. I'm going to sit on me little 2-1 fence.
That your boys, yeah.
Why not? I think you got to do. I think if we can produce what we did second half. The one thing I liked about Saturday was just the fact that we hung on for a point. For the points when we've taken a lead. That's a good thing away from home. That's always hard to do. But also I like the fact that Callum O'Hare scored a goal. And guess what, Jim? He was in the box when the ball came in.
I know.
We were on about that, weren't we, last week?
Can you believe it?
Cal, you wouldn't believe the number of times this season the ball has gone flying into the box. There's one bloke stood there surrounded by 4 guys. You're just thinking, how are you ever going to score a lucky goal if
he took it well enough? That one.
And Callaware got himself in the box, and he tucked it away really nicely, actually, because he gets a lot of stick from us for his output. He needs,
because he just minces about doing note a lot of time, I think.
Mate, careful on the terminology, Cal. But then
he's not bothered. He's not fussed.
Don't start not with that.
The big fairy. He doesn't do alt. I swear down. From a neutral, I don't think he does alt.
Well, he has games, mate, where he leads the press. He scored quite a few goals. Well, we've made quite a few goals in the past where he's the one doing the pressing. So he does get into people and nick the ball off him, and we've broke away and scored some goals. But I agree, his numbers, for his position where he plays, are nowhere near where they should be at all. So
Wilder's called him out on that, though, hasn't he? Wilder's called him out on that in post-match. Wilder said exactly the same.
We've been saying it on the Ramble for a long time. Wilder's been watching, hasn't he? So yeah, but it's not rocket science. If you're going to have someone in behind a striker, you've got to get 10 goals a season. Some people say, it should be 15. 15's ambitious, but I think you should be looking at 10 goals in a side that you're looking at for the playoffs and above potentially. You've got to get 10 goals if you're going to play in there, haven't you?
I agree with that.
Right, Man Mountain
has his numbers. You want them, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, fair point.
Cheers for joining us, pal, and I will see you at 8 o'clock over on the Ramble.
We will, yeah. Good to see you. Best of luck, mate.
Nice one.
See you soon. Paul the Man Mountain there, Ramble legend, joining us. Thank you, pal. So that's a Blades done to death again, and I think we will. I've said one apiece in my score predictions because I'll be happy with you win. You think we'll beat them?
I'm with Mr. Mountain. I'm going 2-1.
2-1. Love that. I hope you're right. Now then, on to this. On to our mate's team. Now he's lying in bed. He's a little bit dizzy and he's a little bit under the weather, isn't he? But
speak about mincing, bloody hell, this fella. Right,
Stop me through this one, mate. Well, I just...
Leeds and Bournemouth, baby. To be fair, right? Because I think Sunderland will stay up now, so I'm convinced on that. But you try and find another side that these can finish in front of, and it is difficult, regardless of the fact that they've started quite well.
It is. I think you have made a bit of a rod for your own back here, haven't you? You've sort of stuck your flag at sand and said Leeds are going to finish bottom at league.
Yep.
Burnley have just got done 5.
Yeah. But they were playing Man City. So
they were. But Bournemouth are no mug. Where's Bournemouth in league?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, Bournemouth is 6th. I agree.
I think we got hung up on reputation of clubs, and we think because we said this in preview last time, where a lot of people would look at this fixture and think Leeds are a big club. Probably the majority of people would say Leeds are a bigger club than Bournemouth traditionally. But on current form, Leeds have got no right to beat Bournemouth at home. And the kicker for Leeds is they got their noses in front until 93rd minute, and they've chucked it. And it's them sort of games and those sort of moments that can be the difference at the level. And that's the problem for Leeds, is that they haven't managed to get over that line and what would have been a really, really important 3 points. Yeah,
I completely agree with you. And about the sticking your flag in sand and that, I agree with that as well. I didn't think that any would stay up. I didn't think they had a chance, really, just based off last couple of seasons. Because that's what you got to go off, innit? Yeah. But these 3 are a different breed, really. But I'm convinced now with Sunderland. But like I said, if you look at this table and you look at the current bottom sides, let's just say for argument's sake that Wolves are ones that go down, right, for Sunderland's position. West Ham with Nuno, come on, they're going to pull away from it quite quickly. I think the squad is considerably better than Leeds is.
Agreed.
Then you're looking at above that Forest, Villa, Newcastle, Man United. Man United might be in bother.
None of which will be in bother, will they?
Man United, honestly. And they'll start getting some funky decisions, but
the thing is, it's Wolves and it's Brentford that these teams have got to be looking at.
Brentford will never go down with that infrastructure they've got.
The infrastructure is what they fall back on. I think Keith Andrews, although they've started well, and it's one of them, I hope he proves me wrong, because you like to see young managers do well and stuff like that. But I think they are the more vulnerable of the established Premier League sides that Leeds and Sunderland can be looking at. Because I think Sunderland can finish above Wolves.
But do you think Leeds are a better team than Brentford are?
No.
I don't.
No, I don't.
I think, saying that, I think we're doing opposite.
There's more intangibles than who's got a better team, though, isn't there? Yeah,
I agree. Well, like I was going to say then, I'm going opposite way now, because I'm looking at Brentford and thinking, as one of smaller sides, are they even that good at home? But they are. They're really good at home.
Yeah, but
it's not even a case of Leeds picking more points up than them at their place.
Would you fancy Brentford to beat Bournemouth at home? You wouldn't particularly, would you?
No, but Leeds haven't bet Bournemouth at all. So.
No, but they've come so close, and these are fine margins that it's going to come down to. I'm not saying Leeds will definitely finish above Brentford, but this is why they'll be so gutted, because they've come so close to doing it. They're probably.
I still think it's a really good point.
I was going to say, but if you'd have offered Leeds, and Con were going to come on if he hadn't have had his headache, and we'll probably speak to him maybe next week or something like that. But if you'd have offered him a point before game, if they were being sensible about it, I think they'd have snapped your hand off.
Oh,
the fact that they're 2-1 up going into the 93rd minute, that's the kicker for a minute.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I agree. I don't want to accept it, really.
Accept what?
That they could stay up.
You had them bottom at league last week.
I've still got a bottom at league now.
Last week.
I've still got
now
a
you're
bottom at league now.
Now you're saying I'm umming and ahhing as to whether they stay up.
Okay, you know what sold me, because we're speaking about fine margins. Wolves nearly went to Tottenham, who've had a very, very good start. New manager, spent a lot of money, and they were 93rd minute equaliser from Tottenham, something like that. Yeah. So speaking on fine margins, I think Leeds are good to somewhere like Tottenham and get battered. I do think it is like, I think this is just like Super League, where truly anything could actually happen.
Next fixture.
It. Oh God. Well, I think they'll lose that then.
You think they'll lose at home to Spurs?
Yes.
I think they could get a point, you know.
See, I won't be surprised with it, but they make it very... I'm just going to say everything possible. I'm going to say absolutely everything. You know what, though? They make it very difficult for teams to go to Ellen Road and play. Yeah. But are they going to get enough wins at home? Because we look at the 2 wins.
And that's the thing, innit? That's the thing. That's their leveler.
Yeah, of course it is. But there are ways that they've got to win away at Wolves, right? Wolves have been awful so far. How many games are they going to get, or how many points even they're going to get away? Very, very limited. And if they are going to get very little away from home, you have got to win more at home. So we might look at Bournemouth and think it's a good point. It probably would be a good point in grand scheme of things if they were getting anything away from home long term. But if they go and get another point here off Tottenham, to only take 2 from them games, I don't think is good enough.
I know what you're saying, but I think Leeds are what they lack in ability in attack. I think they have got a good turnover of pace in attack. And I think that will catch a couple of teams. So I think there's the potential that they pick up points away, particularly away from home, by catching teams on break. I may be wrong, but I think it's early. And that's what we're in business of doing, isn't it? Just giving us opinions on what we think is going to happen. I think Burnley will go down, and I think that's more because I don't think they've got an outstanding quality in their side. I
agree.
And I don't mean to just write them off, dismiss them completely, but I don't think their attack can get them out of trouble or their defence can get them out of trouble. Whereas Sunderland have shown they've got something about them. Burnley, I can't see it in them at the moment. I hope they prove me wrong as well, because we want to break this sort of cycle of a top 17 and then everybody else is fighting for it. But I think it's Leeds. I've written Leeds off before too early, and they come back and they bite you. And it's worse then when they can come back and say, "You remember when Cal Fowler was saying back in September that we're already down?" I know you're not bothered, but
I'm going to say till May. Even if they end up top 4, I'll still say they'll go down. Now, I just can't pick another team across a full season, because I think even picking Wolves is harsh just based off first 5 games, really. Trying to find another team is very, very tough across a full season.
Now,
so nice point, lads, but you're going down.
It's time for this.
Oh, God. You're not going to like my answer, and I don't like my answer.
No way. Are you joking? Instead of this, instead of, hang on, not that, this.
Oh, 1-0 away at Oxford. Get a grip.
After everything we faced,
your squad probably cost 20 times as much as theirs. I'm not bothered about the context and everything surrounding it.
No, context don't matter, does it? Context don't matter for out. No, I don't. You don't forget it. Forget it.
Context is that you spent boatloads more money than what Oxford have, and you've only scraped to 1-0.
The context is that we've been on our backsides all season, confidence on the floor. Ruben Sayers has come in and shattered everything that was built previously, and Wilder's come back in with his super glue, and he's piecing it all back together bit by bit, and we've scraped together a resilient, brilliant 1-0 performance. You can't have it because you've gone to in-laws, and they've told you how great we were, and you've had Moncon. You didn't watch game.
They didn't watch game. Watching golf.
Why are you throwing them under the bus now?
Nobody knows who they are. We get people going around knocking on the door. You didn't watch
it. With Gaz. What's this about? So you're going to get these for a 1-all at home?
No, not for my team. I weren't giving the team them. I was going to give a player.
Oh no, you're not.
I'm getting a little buzz.
Right, well, you choose player and I'll choose team then.
But that's ridiculous because a 1-0 win away at Oxford does not justify getting a Didzy award.
So you don't think in context that is a brilliant result for Sheffield United?
In even more context, the point for Wednesday is better than that is.
So what did you say? What did you think Sheffield United would get here?
I thought you'd lose 2-1, but I also thought that Wednesday would lose 4-0 and they got a point. So my opinions clearly are gutter worthy. You know what I mean? I'm not some big oracle. I get everything wrong notoriously. You cannot have that. I don't even know what other results are. What's Bradford done? 1-0.
Harrogate 1-0 at Gillingham.
let's get them.
Bradford won 1-0 against Blackpool.
It's not been a good week, has it really?
It's been a great week.
Has it? Yeah. Let's get Port Vale.
Should we get Darren Moore?
No, fine. I'll get team. Because there's a severe lack of anything else.
Absolutely appalling. It would have been Leeds, I think, if they'd held out.
Oh, if they'd won, yeah.
And you're getting it Baz?
I'm getting a little Baz.
Mate, that's incredible. Right, congratulations to Sheffield United on winning the Didzy Award this week. Well and truly deserved. And, we'll see. Let's just quickly see if there's any comments that we've missed. Because we are over time. Carl's top 6 at the start, top 2 Luton, Huddersfield, 3rd to 6 were Bolton, Stockport, Barnsley, and Cardiff. Somebody calling you out there on your.
I don't think that's that bad.
I don't think you're far off.
They're all top 10. So far.
Come on, Harrogate, says Az. Absolutely right. Come on, Harrogate, we love it.
Harrogate.
Evening, gents. Blades coming up and turning a corner. Next stop, Prem. Oh, Brett, what are you doing to us? Barnsley replaced the Owls in the champ just because she gave us Morgs up. Anyone but
Wednesday. Then look what he did to repay favour. Nearly killed one of his players. Cheers, Morgs. Thanks, man, for coming.
Good
old Morgs.
Huddersfield had a good game, says Ed. Just need to be more convincing. And now with these new wave of injuries, it's going to be hard. Interesting. Let's have a look. Barnsley have been crap last couple of weeks. True. I think you agreed with that, didn't you, pal?
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, I completely agree.
Barnsley top 2 contenders.
Yeah.
Are they?
I'll tell you, if we're in and around it in Jan and we spend a little bit of dosh, why not? One crap week can not make me change my mind. It can't.
Okay. Leeds have a good structure, says Michael, compared to the last time in the Prem, not getting blitzed week in and week out, except Arsenal. Leeds have been in every match. Yeah, I think they've had some difficult games, and I think Cal's a little bit early, to be honest. We'll see. No,
I agree. I genuinely agree with that, but I think it's the same for all 3 teams. Apart from when they're playing City and Arsenal, they've all been in games. I don't think it's like just for Leeds that.
Good question from Sheza. Assuming it is Leeds and Burnley that go, who's the 3rd team if it's not going to be Sunderland?
Mine's going to sound mental, but I think it'll be Forest. I would like that, to be fair. I'd happily swap them out.
Absolutely right. Me too. Lee says, apart from the Blades for the Didzy, what about Harrogate? Harrogate to win at Gillette. Yeah. Do you know what? I'd give it Harrogate winning at Greasy Gareth's. Yeah, I'm all right with that. Don't worry about that. Right. Hang on. You need to read this. Even as an Owl, I fully expect United to fly up the table as Wilder knows how to get results. What better place to leave it than there, Cal?
Yep. Brilliant. What a rivalry. Is he coming around for dinner later at yours, that fella, or what?
It's my pal Liam. Thanks, Liam.
What a derby.
Cheers, mate. Right. So when are you next on, Cal? When can people next see you on your shiz?
In 47 minutes, I'm doing a live for Everton West Ham. Oh, you doing it all?
No, I'm going live with 3 Mardy Blades. Mardy
Blades. 8? That's a risk. When
I know. I know, but we couldn't fit it in yesterday, and there's all a few bits. But we're excited. We've got a little bit of news that we want to share. So,
oh bloody hell!
Yeah, I know.
Well, make sure to come onto my stream, guys, and I'll have him on background. I'll tell you what happens.
Thanks, everybody. See you all later. Bye.